everybody, and welcome back to Slipstream Racing. We're officially back in the booth. This time we're at Shanghai International to kick off Season 12. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit, one of the most technical and strategically demanding venues on the Formula One calendar. It opened in 2004 and designed to resemble the Chinese character Shang, meaning to rise. This 5.4 kilometer circuit challenges drivers with this unique blend of long radius corners, heavy braking zones, and one of the longest straights in Grand Prix racing. The iconic opening complex tightens like a snail shell, testing front tire management and the driver patience from the very first lap. Then comes the massive long back straightaway, a prime overtaking opportunity for drivers slam onto the brakes into the crucial turn 14 hairpin. Precision, tire strategy, and racecraft will all play a decisive role today with multiple passing zones and plenty of room for drama. The stage is set for a spectacular showdown at the Chinese Grand Prix. Pete Rader right now tops the charts on the C4 compound in front of Cody Lawrence on the C3 compound. The nudge to be also on the C3. Spump running the C4 with Cody Fowers on the C4. Twisted Jack and James Shorter out on track, but not setting laps just yet. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure, as always, to be your host. Let me know if the volume settings are dialed in properly. Hopefully everything sounds crisp and clear, as it always does here at the Slipstream Racing broadcast booth here in Shanghai. New season, new equipment, new technical challenges for not only the drivers, but us as well, being part of the broadcast team. Cody Lawrence still sets a provisional time of P2. Well, scratch that, make it P3. S-Bump sets a new P2 time, 2 seconds back from Pete Rader on the C4 compound. On board with Cody Lawrence right now as we come through turn 9, 10 for the short straightaway towards 11 and 12. Big loop-de-loop, the snail of turn 13, the never-ending right-hander for the long back stretch towards turn 14's hairpin. And a big lockup there from Cody Lawrence. Sends the car nearly sideways on entry. And flick it in to turn 16 before you get to the start-finish line. That'll be another lap for Cody Lawrence with 8:20 remaining in the session. Now, the question is will the race be just as exciting as the qualifying session? So far, it's tied at the front, with drivers setting their times and being pretty close to each other. Now, the race session sure will provide some excitement, especially with Cody Lawrence starting on a different strategy and mid-pack as well. We still have Twisted Jack and James Shorter yet to set their lap times yet, so who knows where those cards may fall at the end of the day. Couple of facts for you here at Shanghai. Track length is going to be 3.37 miles or 5.451 kilometers. We are located in Shanghai. Opened in 2004, we have 16 corners, 9 to the right, 7 to the left, with only about 20 feet of elevation change in total around the racing circuit. So it's not much to go off of for the drivers as far as elevation, so they can really run the cars almost as low as they would like. Taking a look at Jack now and the Team Jumpman Tar Heels F1 organization, as we get a good aerial shot of Cody Lawrence making it through the snail. Now, with only 4 minutes remaining left in this qualifying session, the question still remains, who will top the charts at the end of it? Will it be Anand Trivedi? Will it be Cody Lawrence? Will it be Spump? Who shall it be to top the charts at the end of the day? Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the session, meaning that we'll only get this lap plus one more at the end of the day. So those drivers who have locked in to those selections being on the C3 compound for their run are therefore locked in and cannot go down pit lane and get a change and come back out. Spump might be able to, but it'll be very close to determine if he can or not. final run for Trevini brings him into pit lane. Pete Rader still out there on the C4 compound running some laps. Twisted Jack heads back out on track, but I think to no avail. It might be a too little too late. Cody Fowers does the same, but again, I think to no avail as there's only 1:45 remaining in the session. Seconds left to go in the session before we are concluded, folks. New PB set by Pete Rader, 1:33.028. Will be the new provisional pole time, but I don't think anybody can touch that. And would you look at that? Cody Fowers has a new livery. Take a look at that livery here in just a few minutes when we do the walkthrough of the grid. Cody Fowers does get a lap time in 1:37.5, good enough for 4th position, and that will officially send us into our last driver to bring it home. Is it me, or am I seeing double out here on the racetrack? It looks like there's 2 Team Jumpman Tar Heel cars on track. One driven by Twisted Jack and one driven by Pete Rader. Not sure if there was a team decision thrown out there throughout the off season, or if we're just incurring a technical issue. Trevini was able to snake in a time at the end of the day, a 1:33.4, right behind Pete Rader for the Oracle Red Bull team. Now that'll officially send our session into conclusion, as all the drivers have received the checkered flag state. from some of the drivers during the warm-up session that they do expect this to be able to be a one-stopper of an event. So looking forward to that. It'll be Pete Rader and the Team Jumpman Tar Heels number 23 who topped the charts with a 133.028. Anand Trivedi in the Honda Oracle Red Bull machine number 22. That belongs to Anand Trivedi in second place. Spump in third for the Duracell Williams sponsored machine, also number 23. Cody Lawrence in P4, the championship winner from season 11 in the number 11. Cody Fowler is driving his new livery. Look at this thing. Absolutely amazing. Clearly Canadian, and he must be on track. Number 10 for Cody Fowers, but he's got 44 plastered all over it. Caution, stay back 500 feet on the rear wing diffuser. It's looking good for the Slipstream Racing car. Twisted Jack driving the Team Jumpman Tar Heels F1 machine. They teamed up to try to take the team's championship from Caddy and Cody. Aha! So Twisted Jack and Pete Rader are teaming up this year, and this year it will be the number 5 for him. James Shorter driving the number 9 Budweiser, and I'm your host Sagar Bakshi, driving the official safety car / medical car. And we're ready to get drivers gridded up here in just a few moments time, and we'll get ready to take the green flag. "37 laps around Shanghai coming up in just a few moments time. Pete Rader's gonna lead us, but he's gonna be on the inoptimum line on the outside run down towards the first corner. And we're ready to take the red lights, and when they go out, we will go racing, folks. And it's green, green, green here at Shanghai for Slipstream Racing, and a bit of a squabble of a start in the backfield. There goes Cody Lawrence, moving every which way, trying to find an advantage here at turn 1, but the advantage is actually for Anand Trivedi for that inside line coming through turn 2. Challenges Pete Rader and throws him a curveball as he falls back to P2. It's not over yet as Rader tries to challenge forward still, but a small lockup coming down in the hairpin of turn 6. Start the race. Anand Trivedi pulls out an 8/10 gap. 8/10 back from there is going to be Cody Lawrence behind Pete Rader. Twisted Jack, Spump, Cody Fowers, and James Shorter all coming in towards turn 14, and there is an off from Trevidi in front. This is going to allow Raider to try to get alongside the outside line. Isn't going to be optimal. It's actually going to slow down Raider as well, because here comes Cody Lawrence in the choo-choo train trying to get by around the outside of Raider, and he's going to make that one work, but the outside line turns into the inside line, but we're not even going to get there because we touch. Now no love lost between drivers on the racetrack. Cody Lawrence still manages to find a way through on Raider despite the small touch. Now, can Cody Lawrence take the inaugural victory here despite starting off in the mid-pack? There is a 1.2 second gap in front of him. Let's check back in with the best of the rest. Twisted Jack, about 1.4 seconds up the road from Spump. Cody Fowers, 2.3 from there, and James Shorter, 4.7 back from there. And the gaps just seemingly escaping each other right now in the backfield. Up at the front, things are remaining tight as Raider stays within spitting distance of Cody Lawrence. 136.6 comes out from the race leader, 137, 138 from Pete Raider. If I didn't say so already, thank you very much for joining us, Trent H. Really appreciate you being here in the YouTube chat, dropping that helpful tidbit of information about them teaming up. Trevidi with a, oh, what happened to Shorter and Fowers? A little bit of a lockup there from Fowers. Oh, and Shorter spins at turn 11 and turn 12's entry. Able to get it spun up in the right direction. The Budweiser machine running right again. Gap up front hasn't really changed too much. Still a 1.6 second gap. One of the things I forgot to see was if Cody Lawrence was running any ballast for this championship season. I just checked. He is running a 35. Oh no, Pete Raider with a big spinner. But he's able to pirouette the car back in the right direction. But I bet that he has succumbed to some severe tire damage. Need to get that checked out. You can see the skid marks there from Twisted Jack's point of view. And now Twisted Jack, only 3.5 from his teammate. Good focus from Cody Lawrence right there. Looking through the corner. And then Trevini pulls out a new fast lap again. 36.2 that last time around. Oh no, and almost another spin. This time it was for Twisted Jack and the Jumpman Tar Heels F1 team, but Spump was able to get by. Jack was able to recover, but Raider, however, was not. And this looks like it was at turn 2. And Raider is going to fall back behind his teammate of Jack in the number 5. On lap 5 already, things are falling to fair for the Jumpman Tar Heels. But it's not over yet. Twisted Jack can still recover some of this. He's only 1.2 back from Spump, who has now inherited a lovely podium. Gap for the lead has come down to just 0.9 of a second. So the DRS will become active for Cody Lawrence on his attack to Anand Trivedi out in front. Lawrence nipping at the heels of Trevini, but also here, Twisted Jack nipping at the heels of Spump in the Williams out in front. That podium not secured yet. Here's a look at James Shorter coming through the backfield. Bonk there from Jack into Spump into 14. And a big checkup there from Jack as he waits up for his ally or his opponent. You can just see how much that suspension is working there. Coming through the snail section. It's just absolutely tremendous. What this simulator has done is Jack nearly loses it again coming out of turn 3. A little bit of team orders being exercised as Raider follows through and gets through on Twisted Jack. Over to the look of Anand Trivedi before we go back over to Spump's onboard. Taking a look at the Williams driver. Very controlled movements for a lot of these drivers. You don't see a lot of corrections coming through the steering wheel or very quick jostling of the wheel. It's all very precise. Once they get it put in a certain way, they tend to keep it locked in until they need to open up the wheel again. And that look there from Piece of Jack described exactly what I was talking about. Battle for the lead here, separated by 0.7 of a second, but let's not avoid this topic as well. The battle for P3 is also separated by 0.5 second right now. Trying to dock out of helping out Pete Rader get by. It was to no avail. The DRS coming down in towards turn 14 was too strong, and Pete Rader's speed too great. There's nothing that Spump could do about it, driving that Williams. Check back in here with the leaders on the C3 compounds after 9 laps of the 37. Cody Lawrence still trails. This time it's drifting away, now down to a second between Trevini and Lawrence. And the run through the twisty bits looks good for Cody Lawrence with that ballast surely holding him back at this point. Now the look, but he can't jump just yet. the look, the attack, but it could not be followed through from Cody Lawrence. Again, he has to sit back for a little bit of time to mount his charge again on Anand Trivedi out for P1. Looking back here at the battle between now Jack and Spump. It'll be the other Jumpman Tar Heels taking advantage of a mistake from the Williams driver, this time at turn 14 again. Now can the Williams retort? In kind, he goes a little bit deep at turn 1. Tries to go around the outside at turn 2, but it's to no avail as Jack loops it all on his own, and he tumbles down into P5. Still sits 1 second back. Will anything change here in the pit stop cycle? Dare I say it so soon, but this could be Anand Trivedi's championship to walk away with potentially. As he was looking in pretty strong form at the end of last season in the races he did show up to that were mistake-free. He usually performed at a very high level. Light lockups there for both drivers. Coming to turn 14. And now the gap slinkies away to 1.4 seconds, separating the two drivers. The gap even. That means Cody Lawrence shouldn't get the DRS, but he does somehow. Is that a pit stop call? It is going to be a pit stop call for Cody Lawrence. Finds his box, makes a very quick pit stop alongside James Shorter, rolls out, back out onto or off of the limiter. Easily gets by James Shorter there in the number 9. And back out on the racetrack. This time mounting the C2 compound. Should be able to go the remaining race distance on these tires. Pit stop for Trividi took place as well. This time he falls back behind Cody Lawrence, and that'll be an official change for the lead. Nine seconds the difference in that pit stop undercut. Absolute crazy. Now with Cody Lawrence pulling out a nearly 10-second gap, can Trividi do anything to challenge this pace? Keeping my eye on the lap times for both drivers, Cody Lawrence keeps on putting down purple sectors on these laps. Exchange blows yet again as their positions were inverted during the pit stop cycle. Raider able to get by Spunk now. Oh, big wiggle there. Fastest lap comes out for Trividi, 1:35.698 on that last go around. Concluded. It looks like Spump has got some fire in his veins. He looks to be able to charge and challenge forward. He was a second slower on that previous lap where he was attacked, but now that he's in the attacking position, he's looking for the outside line at turn 2, but trying to get a switchback for 3 is not going to work out to his favor. On exit, though, he may have compromised Raider enough to get a run along the outside and stick a nose in, but to no avail. This is the closest battle on the racetrack right now, separated by around a second and a quarter. On the rear wing of Anand Trivedi, it is sad to say that it will not open for the DRS because he has lost his dance partner of Cody Lawrence. Lap time still looking good for Trivedi, 1:35.818 the last time around, compared to Cody Lawrence, 1:35.7 last time around. Cody Fowler's running in P7, 21 seconds behind James Shorter. Now here is something interesting. Pete Rader is lapping around 3.5 seconds faster than Twisted Jack right now. So potentially those positions can become inverted towards the end of the race. And there's a mistake from Cody Fowlers, but it's all good as he pops back up onto the tarmac. And it looks like another pit stop call. And will it be for Twisted Jack? It is for Twisted Jack. Throws on a pair of medium tires. Oh, that was actually his first pit stop. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Well, no wonder he was lapping slower. I thought Twisted Jack had already made his pit stop, but no, he had gone so long on that first stint. Now has a brand new pair of mediums while the rest of the field is driving hard compound tires. With a big tank slapper. Coming out of turn 10. Is he able to recover? He is. And he's back on track. Oh, that wasn't Spump. That was Cody Fowlers, excuse me. The battle here between Jack and Spump is starting to spice up. C3 versus C2 compounds. I think Jack should have the advantage there and be able to stay ahead of Spump. 137.807 last time around. Not too shabby. And then Trevidi lapping in the 135s last time around. He's definitely picked up the pace. 135.6 the last time around. Brings the gap down to 8.4 seconds between himself and Mr. Cody Lawrence out in P1. Now the battles continue to brew, but lap traffic giveth and lap traffic taketh away on the same breath. But here at Slipstream Racing, although back markers are fairly good about staying out of the way of the drivers on the lead lap, so no positions lost or no time lost to be really garnished or gained there. Cody with another big tank slapper. This time on the run down towards turn 1, it looks like. No, turn 14, excuse me. And James Shorter having a small excursion. And that allows another excursion, this time from Twisted Jack. All of it popping off here in the final stages of the race. All this happening right in front of the race leaders, Cody Lawrence and Anand Trivedi now. Cody Fowers making more mistakes. This time James Shorter makes a trip down pit lane. That should be his last stop of the race as he mounts onto the C4 compounds. Let's see what he can do with the soft set of tires. Now, I wouldn't be remiss if Anand Trivedi tried to do the same thing. He's clearly not going to pass Cody Lawrence with just 8 laps left to go and an 8-second gap. He should just mount the soft compound tires and try to go for the fastest lap extra point. Lap 30 under our belt now. Brown struggling a little bit with the car beneath them. Cody Lawrence and Trevini, Pete Rayner, Twisted Jack, Spump, James Shorter, and then Cody Fowers run out the starting order. Another pit stop there, this time from Twisted Jack, as I think he looks to mount the soft compound tires and finish off this race. No, it'll actually be a set onto the mediums for Jack. Trevini presumably still wanting to be there just in case anything does happen to Cody Lawrence in the final stages of the race. And Raider comes down pit road. Free pit stop for the 23 and for the 5. Oh, big spin for Pete Rayner. Cody Fowers comes down pit lane also. It looks like actually the C4 compound was selected for Raider and for Jack. Fowers mounts the soft compound as well. And it looks like everybody's going for last lap trials. Over fist there, trying to get that car rotated around. This will be the penultimate lap for Cody Lawrence and Anand Trivedi. A little bit of a race here between Shorter and Spump, although they are not on the same lap. As we go on to the final lap now, white flag will wave for Cody Lawrence here. Cody Lawrence brings us down the back straight for the final time of asking Anand Trivedi just a little further back in the distance by around 7 seconds. Pete Rader trailing in behind, but unfortunately is 1 lap down. But it will be Cody Lawrence taking us to the final corner for the final time here in Shanghai for the inaugural Slipstream Racing event of Season 12, and he'll take the win despite starting from the mid-pack. Trivedi will bring home second place. Pete Rader in third. Twisted Jack will bring home fourth. Spump in fifth. Shorter in sixth. And Cody Fowers in seventh. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag here for Slipstream Racing. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. Have a great night, and as always, remember to stay safe out there. See you next week.